When you take a look at employees that are out in the field doing work for you and delivering service or not delivering service, one of the easiest things for you to find is a way to gain feedback about services, about the people, and even about your product. So, how can you go about this, and what's an easy way to implement it? That is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Sylvan coming to you live from Consulting Secrets on a perfect day to talk about feedback and resources, and a fantastic day to talk about you. Coming to you live from Sacramento. So today I go to Chipotle and I grab my diet bowl that I'm on, right? There's certain foods that I can eat. And I'm talking to the representative at the counter. And she says, "Hey, if you had a good experience, would you mind taking our feedback survey?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." So I go to Chipotle's URL and it's just got this most basic 2-question survey, right? How many stars would you give our service? And then, did you dine in? Did you order? Did you walk and carry out? Like, what was your function? And then, what's your feedback? And so you're, "Hey, Scott, I already got people giving me reviews." Yeah, that's true. Cool. But what about feedback? What about what's going on? You know, sometimes I'll work with companies and they're like, "Hey, Scott, we just want the reviews." I'm like, "No, you also want feedback." Well, why would we do that? Because that's the person who's paid you money. That's somebody who's had conversations with your employees. That's somebody who's tasted your food, brought your product, had an install, like had an end result with you or didn't have an end result with you. And that feedback becomes super important because here's what happens is you're going to find that good times happen in pockets or seasons, and then bad times happen in pockets or seasons. And how you deal with that pocket or that season of time really determines what's going to happen the next 90 days, the next 120 days. And if you're getting feedback and you're consistently getting the same feedback and you ignore it, well, that's the definition of insanity. That is es no bueno, as they say down south here in California, right? Like that's not the right thing to do. Here's the other thing. One of the ideas that comes from feedback is you can have people tell you what they're looking for add-on sales, what they're looking for you to help them with that you haven't helped them with. And that might be a joint venture partner. That might be a new product line. That might be a white label. That might be something for you to fulfill. And if you have been asking for feedback and you're getting feedback, you can validate any of the marketing strategies that you have been paying for. You can validate an outside company coming in and saying, "Hey, here's what's going on and here's what we'd like you to do." Like, you've got information, you've got data, and data is super valuable inside of a company or inside of an organization. And I really want you to know that. The data that you collect is either valuable for you or it's valuable for nobody. And your competition's doing this. You're like, "Okay, Scott, I got it. I need feedback. How do I do this?" Okay. For Chipotle, it was like super easy. It was like chipotlefeedback.com. So it's your company, feedback.com. Like, "Scott, this sounds super hard." Like, no, you go to a website like Namecheap and you buy feedback, like your company name and then feedback.com. And you're like, "Hey, Scott, but how do I put a survey together?" I got you. Super free. Super free. You might have heard of this company. It's called Google. It's called Google. Google, if you go to the corner on the right, there's like 9 buttons. It looks like a cube. And one of those things that you could do is do a survey for free. Okay? So just soft pitch, hear me out. You go to Google, the company you might have never heard of. Right? You go to Google, the company you might have never heard of, and you create a free survey form. And then that survey form is going to give you a URL. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the URL that you bought and you're going to redirect it to that Google URL. You're going to redirect it. So if it goes yourcofeedback.com, you put that URL slug in, and then it's going to send you back to the feedback form. Now, here is something that's super important that you need to know. If you're going to do this, you are strictly after like one question about the product or service, and then the rest is about feedback. Your brain is going to tell you, "Hey, I got my ideal client and I should ask them a ton of questions." No, don't do that. Make this super simple, very easy. Make it so you're like legitimately just after feedback. And then what you're going to do is that data is going to go somewhere, and you can just disseminate where you want it to go when you build out this Google document, this Google survey. You're going to take that data and you're going to analyze it. Is it true? Is it not true? Is there a commonality? Is there causation? Are there certain people's name who keeps coming up? So somebody who's asking for this feedback, like the woman that asked me, like, hey, would you mind leaving some feedback today? She didn't ask me for a review. She asked me for feedback. She said, but if you use my name, that's cool too. If that person's name keeps coming up, like they're doing something right. If it's in a good positive light. If it's like super negative all the time, like that person needs some help. But you could catch on to issues that you're having in your company, your organization, issues with employees, issues with products, issues with fulfillment, issues with deliverability, whatever the case may be, you're able to catch it sooner. All for the cost of about $15 a year and somebody asking and maybe creating a QR code. So let's say maybe all in $30 with print, because you could do this digitally pretty easily. But be aware, these are all the easy things. They're like, oh my goodness, it's going to take me all of 30 minutes to do this on $30. I'm gonna say, like, if I went to go buy a URL right now, I've bought enough of them in my lifetime to know it's like a 2-minute process. Okay, I've built enough surveys in my life to know that maybe you're 10 minutes into a survey if you've never done it before. So what, we're 12 minutes, and then you create a QR code. So now we're at another 2 or 3, and then you teach your employees, hey, ask people for feedback. It's super hard. You say, would you mind leaving some feedback for the company to let our neighbors and potential clients know what kind of work we do? We're in 30 minutes and $30 at the most. And it's super valuable for your company, for your business. You got 1 of 3 things to do from here. Just 1 of 3. Find the subscribe button, click on it. And every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.